So the tiger shovelnose that are in the 1800 gallon have grown enough to try to prey on the smallest peacock bass in this tank. This guy right here behind not the front one, but that one. So it's time to move them on. We're about the same size as Roosevelt's tiger shovelnose in here. This is Andy's. This is Roosevelt's. That's a little smaller, except for the sock puppet. I'm gonna move them to this 4,500 gallon. There's 5 of them. 4 of the ones that we bought, I forget, about a year ago. And the sock puppet, which is a rescue, which now eats like there's no tomorrow. I saw all of them going after this peacock bass right here. By the way, the black shark, Sharky the black shark, passed away. I buried him today. So that's the end for the 10-year-old, or I forget, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 years old. Black shark male, about 1.5 feet. It hasn't grown in the last, at all in the last 8 years or so. Alright, okay, so let's do some tiger shovelnose fetching. Before things take a more gruesome turn. I'm also thinking the 2 bigger female, the Calberry and the Mono, to maybe put them in the lunch grab suck or the Perchland 4500, and the same thing for the 2 probably male Deadnoid perch, which are stuck at about, I don't know, 14, 16 inches. But I'm afraid of, right now, I'm afraid of the predation by the barramundi and the Nile perch. Maybe even Timensis too. All of these guys are about 2.5 feet. And especially the barramundi and the Nile perch will continue growing. They will break 3 feet in a couple of years. Maybe even in a year, who knows. The way they eat have been very pleasing, but they haven't been eating tank mates. They eat what we feed them. So I don't want to give them tank mates to eat, but the size of the fish that I'm thinking of transferring are about the same as this Midas. Tilapia are a little bigger already. I'd say, yeah, this Midas is the smallest, and the fish I'm thinking of transferring is about the same size too. But if somebody hunted the Midas, I mean, I don't want it to happen, and I don't think it will happen, but if it happened, wouldn't be that big of a loss. But the deathnoids are precious, and the peacocks are precious, of course, much more precious than a Midas, of which we have a gazillion of them in Florida, in many water bodies. Just one of the invasives, or at least very prolific exotics here in Florida. So you can catch them all day long. Anyhow, so I don't know, I want to try it, kinda. It'd be nice to have all the peacock, or most of the peacocks and all the deathnoids in the same tank. But if I were cautious, I probably would not do that. Anyhow, let's do the tiger shovelnose and go from there. The bigger bat has been much more active lately. Now I see him bullying tank mates almost every day, and it doesn't matter, he bullies everybody except for the pacu. I never see him bully the pacu yet. The pacu are not on the not at the top of the pecking order. Alright, I digress, I guess. I'm just thinking aloud. Let's do the tigers. I've done what I wanted to do, what I spoke about. This is the 1800 gallon. Looks a little lighter. I also was pondering about what some of you have been saying, to move the Dorado to one of the 4,500 gallon tanks. But again, I'd probably have to move them all together, and like this is the smallest one. It's not a tall-bodied fish like the Midas or the deathnoid perch or the tilapia or even the peacock bass. So it has a much more, its shape renders it easier to swallow, so I'd be pretty worried. And they grow so slowly, I don't know if it's ever gonna happen. But anyhow, the tiger shovelnose are out of here. The deathnoids, the two deathnoids and the two biggest peacocks. So the five new tiger shovelnose in this tank are on the bottom, including the sock puppet, and the four smaller guys that we've been growing out. And the two smaller peacocks are near the bottom. One is in the center, the Kilberry. To the right is the mono, both females, smaller, I think. And you see both of the smaller deathnoid perches. It's funny how this one was very unstable, the one in the middle was very unstable, but here it's colored up a little bit. Maybe it's temporary. There's the other smaller deathnoid. I think they're both males, and therefore the females overtook them by far and large in the growth rate. Okay, I also just now took out Dora out of this tank, the silver Dorado catfish, but we'll save it for an upcoming video. I'm gonna tell you why I did it and what happened. But Dora right now is in 25,000 gallons. We'll see if it survives. Here we are about 4 or 5 days later. Everything's fine with the 5 rehomed tiger shovelnose. They enjoy their new space. They swim a lot more, I would say, especially up and down, because this tank is more than 2 times deeper. There's a deformed guy, sock puppet on the bottom. All of them are in front of us, except this is Roosevelt's, and these 5 are new. Today is a feeding day, so they're probably a little hungry. It's been a week since they ate. I'm pretty sure they will eat very well. They have no problem in the lunge grab suck either. The 2 new smaller peacock bass and the 2 new smaller deadnoid perches have been good. Those of them that ate pellets before have been taking pellets, but again, this tank has not been fed fish, and at least not the heavy feeding, the usual feeding, in 1 week. We fed this fish with visitors several times. When we do it with visitors, usually the smaller crowd gets nothing. They stay below and keep quiet. The big guys get everything. But that's all right. This guy's back to being unstable. And the 2 peacocks. I know Mono is a female, but the Calberry, the smaller Calberry over there in the back right corner. Can't barely see it. I'm not sure of the gender of this one, but it's a male or female yet. But they both have been good. There's a couple more smaller fish in this tank, but they will be covered in a video to be uploaded soon. There's 2 new Midas in here as well. A rescue from Louis, a local rescue here in Naples, but again, we'll cover it a little later.